Stop everything! I'm about to reveal the most insane biological mystery that will literally change how you see the entire animal kingdom forever. We're talking about a secret so wild that when scientists first described it, they couldn't believe their own eyes. Here's what's about to happen in the next 12 minutes. First, I'll show you why Africa, the continent home to lions, leopards, cheetahs, and hyenas, has never had a single wild tiger in over 2 million years of big cat evolution. Trust me. That fact alone will blow your mind. Then, I'll unveil the tragic experiment where humans actually tried to force tigers into Africa, and the results were so devastating that they made international headlines. Lives were lost, animals suffered, and millions of dollars went down the drain. But here's the kicker that will absolutely blow your mind. I'm going to prove that if a tiger magically appeared in Africa today, it would be utterly destroyed within weeks by predators you've never even thought about. And finally, the part that made my jaw drop, I'll introduce you to the colossal saber-toothed cats that did rule ancient Africa millions of years ago, with fangs longer than kitchen knives, and I'll show you why those monsters make tigers look like house cats. Now, I know you're itching to skip ahead, maybe to the gruesome rewilding story or the fossil revelations, but I'm telling you right now, every single segment builds on the last one. Skip even 30 seconds and you'll miss critical puzzle pieces that make the final revelation absolutely mind-blowing. By the end of this video, you'll know more about big cat evolution than 99% of people on Earth, and you'll have the ultimate conversation starter that makes you the smartest person in any room. So, buckle up, because we are about to dive into a biological mystery so crazy it sounds like science fiction. To understand why tigers never made it to Africa, let's rewind about 6 to 10 million years. That's when the ancestors of all modern big cats started to appear on different continents. But here's the fact that literally wrecked the internet when it was first published. Tigers have never, and I mean never, lived wild in Africa. Not once. Not ever. In over 2 million years of big cat evolution, there has never been a native tiger roaming the African savanna or stalking prey under the moonlight. Now, you might be thinking, okay, maybe they just never made it there. Wrong, because here's where it gets absolutely insane. In July 2014, paleontologists working in Gansu province, China, formally described a skull of Pantheras dunsky, dated to about 2.55 to 2.16 million years ago, proving that the earliest tiger relatives originated in Asia, not Africa. But here's the kicker. At that exact same time, Africa already had Panthera leo, the lion fossils from Olduvai Gorge, around 2 million years ago, and Panthera pardus, the leopard fossils from East Africa, around 2 million years ago, ruling the savanna. You might wonder, wait, weren't Africa and Asia connected by land? Absolutely, they were. Around 2 million years ago, the Arabian Peninsula and Middle East formed a corridor linking the continents. But as proto-tigers were honing their predatory skills in Asia's dense forests and riparian zones, the Middle East was turning into a literal death trap of sand and scorching heat. Pleistocene climate records show Sahara aridification intensifying around 2.5 to 2 million years ago, severing that corridor. Forest-adapted phyllids require water and cover. As the Sahara expanded, it formed an increasingly hostile barrier that tigers literally could not cross. On top of that, tigers' iconic vertical stripes evolved as disruptive camouflage in Asian forest understories and tall grass habitats, an adaptation that would make them highly conspicuous on Africa's open plains. In Africa's wide-open savannas, those stripes would stand out like a neon sign to every prey animal and rival predator. Evolution simply said, nope, you're stuck in Asia. By 2 million years ago, Africa's savanna niches were already filled by agile leopards creeping through trees, pride-hunting lions dominating herds, and fleet-footed cheetahs sprinting down antelope. The roles tigers fill in Asia, solitary ambush predator in dense vegetation, were already occupied by specialized African cats. Those evolutionary barriers were essentially written in stone, or more accurately, in sand and fossils. But wait, humans decided to play God. In September 2003, a project called Save China's Tigers flew 2 baby South China tigers, Cathay and Hope, to Laohu Valley Reserve in South Africa. The idea, let these captive-bred cubs relearn hunting skills on abundant African prey, then send them back to China as semi-wild tigers. Despite the hopeful press releases, this experiment was doomed from the start. Hope died in February 2005 of heart failure, complicated by pneumonia, and Cathay survived until June 2013, dying at age 16. Over the next 10 years, around 15 south. China tigers lived at Laohu Valley, but none were ever released back into China's wild. Millions of dollars were spent, countless tiger lives were risked, and the ultimate goal remained unfulfilled. So why exactly did these tigers fail in Africa? First, the prey situation. In Asia, tigers specialize in hunting deer, wild boar, and water buffalo, animals whose defense behaviors tigers evolved to counter. In Africa, however, zebras deliver crippling kicks that can break bones. African buffalo move in massive, tightly packed herds armed with lethal horns. Warthogs have razor-sharp tusks, and kudu or impala can outrun almost any predator for short bursts. Laohu Valley veterinary records document at least one subadult tiger killed by buffalo gore, and multiple cubs and adults suffered severe injuries, internal hemorrhages, broken bones from unfamiliar African prey. Second, the predator dynamic. In Asia, adult tigers face virtually no natural enemies. They are the undisputed apex predators of their habitat. In Africa, a solitary tiger would be entering a war zone. Lion prides can number up to 30 individuals. Spotted hyena clans can exceed 80 members. And African wild dogs coordinate hunts with military precision. Without predator-proof fences, like the 1.8 square kilometer enclosure at Laohu Valley, experts agree a newly introduced tiger would have been torn apart within days. Third, climate and physiology. South China tigers have relatively thick coats suited for forested, temperate Asian regions. When Limpopo province temperatures exceeded 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, keepers observed heavy panting, drooling, and reduced appetite, clear signs of heat stress. Tigers require constant access to water for thermoregulation. Bathing and swimming help them cool off. But Africa's seasonal droughts often left waterholes dry for months. Even if a tiger evaded lions and hyenas, many would have succumbed to dehydration or heat exhaustion. By around 2013, the Save China's Tigers experiment wound down with no South China tiger ever returned to China's wild. The project starkly proved that over 2 million years of evolutionary specialization for Asian habitats and prey cannot be undone by human hope alone. Those tigers died for nothing, and their deaths stand as a cautionary tale. Nature's boundaries are written in millions of years of adaptation. But here's where I absolutely send your brain into orbit. Africa didn't just lack tigers. It was ruled for millions of years by predators so terrifying they make modern big cats look like puppies. From roughly 5.2 million years ago to 1.5 million years ago, saber-toothed cats dominated the African savanna. In July 2023, paleontologists published 2 new Langebanweg species, Dinophilis verdellini and Locotun jailurus chinsamyai, dating to about 5.2 million years ago. Homotherium, the scimitar-toothed cat, possessed long, curved canines specialized for precise throat punctures, and its powerful forelimbs could wrestle down prey much larger than itself. Imagine a leopard-sized cat with fangs that extended 2 inches below its lower jaw, built to pierce through bone like butter. So why did these saber-toothed titans vanish by about 1.5 million years ago? As Africa's forests gave way to open grasslands, the ambush strategies of saber-toothed cats became less effective. Open savanna's favored group hunting lions, Panthera leo, arboreal ambush leopards, Panthera pardus, and speed specialist cheetahs as synonyms. Paleoecological data confirm Homotherium's disappearance in Africa around 1.5 million years ago, and by that time, lions and leopards were already diversifying into new niches. Early Aschenonyx cheetahs emerged as the fastest land predators, ruling the plains with sprinting prowess. Here's the absolute mind-blower. As Africa's saber-toothed rulers were going extinct, tigers were just beginning to evolve in Asia. By around 2 million years ago, Panthera tigris ancestors roamed dense Asian woodlands, perfecting the solitary ambush technique. Africa had already finished its predator experiment, sculpting specialized hunters for open environments. Meanwhile, Asia was brewing an entirely different strategy. A single cat, solitary stalking forest-dwelling powerhouse with disruptive stripes that blended perfectly with dappled light. Evolution is a zero-sum game across habitats. If tigers had somehow evolved in Africa, lions, leopards, cheetahs, and the entire African big cat guild as we know them might never have existed. And let's not forget the Americas. The Pleistocene New World had jaguars, Panthera onca, Smilodon, first appearing around 2.5 million years ago, and the giant American lion, Panthera atrox, bash 1 million years ago. Each continent ran its own Ultimate predator experiment. Asia perfected the solitary forest ambush with tigers and snow leopards. Africa mastered a diverse, specialized guild. And the Americas produced jaguars and giant cats like Smilodon and P. atrox. So here's the insane truth that ties everything together and will absolutely wreck your brain. Africa never had tigers because it didn't need them. All the ecological niches were already filled by creatures perfectly adapted to that landscape. Meanwhile, Asia was busy evolving stripes, solitary behavior, and swimming prowess in water buffalo swamps. Africa's big cats are precisely what Africa required, and Asia's tigers are exactly what Asian ecosystems demanded. The failed Laohu Valley experiment reminds us that you can't simply shuffle species between continents and expect success. Those tigers carried over 2 million years of specialized history that African ecosystems couldn't accommodate, and the saber-toothed titans of ancient Africa remind us that big cat doesn't always mean modern cat. Sometimes the most terrifying predators are those we only know from fossils. If this video absolutely destroyed your brain, smash that like button and subscribe because I'm about to drop the most insane animal evolution videos you've ever seen. Comment below with the missing predator or evolutionary mystery that keeps you up at night. Did you know there are no polar bears in the southern hemisphere? Or maybe you're curious why kangaroos never invaded Africa? Whatever your wildest questions are, drop them in the comments and I'll hunt down the answers. Share this with someone who thinks they know everything about big cats. Trust me, their mind is about to be blown. Next week, we're tackling why there are no elephants in Australia. And the answer involves a 50-million-year-old continental drift puzzle that will make this tiger story look straightforward. You won't want to miss it. So ring that bell, stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next mind-bending adventure.